Art students, Brian Proctor back again with another drawing lesson, and this one is all about the delts. There have been a number of times when students have sent me their drawings of their characters for me to help them with their anatomy, and majority of the time I see people having trouble doing the delts, and that's a major part of doing the character, because every time you put your arm up or reach back to get a sword or whatever, you need to have those delts looking good. So this video or this tutorial is about the delts, how to correctly draw the delts. So if you are drawing your delts all crazy, like crooked and whatever, well, this one's going to help you. So let's get into that so you can improve greatly on drawing your characters. All right, so this one is all about the delts. May throw a little back in there as well, but this is about the delts. So I'm going to do the front, side, and back for the front and the back and the side. Okay. You have, and I'll try to keep this on track. A lot of times I go off, even though this is a teaching video. So we have your torso, you have your collarbone, you have your neck, you have this curve, and watch my videos and I'll show you this over and over again because nothing changes. You have this V that determines the length of your neck, or the thickness of your neck. From this point at the collarbone goes over to the edge of that circle, which is an oval, which is basically your rib cage. It's your whole rib cage here. So your delts are going to fall underneath this line here. This line was blue. And I have to keep an eye on my monitor because I might end up going off the page. Collarbone, dip here, collarbone. And the collarbone is kind of like, has a little dip, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Collarbone stops here, and your delts go under it because your delts are actually attached here. So it's going to be this shape like that. You have to realize how wide your shoulders are for your character as well. So your shoulder's going to end right here at this point at the blue of the collarbone. So then your delts are going to be around here. And I always do the circle, but it's going to be kind of like this shape here, like that, because your arms are going to go under it, because your chest comes up, your chest is here, comes up, and then it goes into that, like that. And your arms are tucked under here, At this point, your bicep and your tricep separates. So we're not going to get into arms, we're just getting into your delts. So here you have your point, curve, separate. So your delts actually go around your shoulder. So if you're looking at it from the top, if this is your shoulders, here's your head, here's your delts. Your delts are shaped like this to go around. They go around your back like that. They're further in the back than they are in the front, but they're shaped like that. So if you, from the side, it would be more like this. And here's your shoulder here. And let's say your arm comes out. Your arm is kind of like tucked under here. So imagine if you have a cup. And this wasn't part of the video, and I'm actually going off, but I want to give you an example of what it's like. So if this was the inside of your cup, your arms are going to be kind of like, just imagine your arms are going to be inside of it. This is kind of like armor for over the armor, with the shoulder guards over armor like that. Just imagine that, and your shoulders fit down up in there. So straight on, this is what it's going to look like. A lot of people have that already. A lot of people know that already. But this is for the beginners who have trouble with their arms, with the delts, especially lifting the delts up or lifting the arms up over the head. Remember I said that the chest is going to come like this under there, and this is attached to that collarbone right here. So you're going to get that curve around, it dips in and it curves around into the shoulder, and you're going to get like I said, a little dip here. That's what a lot of times you see if people do shading, they'll do that because it is a little dip right there between the chest, the connection from the chest and the collarbone. So we had that. I'm sure a lot of people know how to do that already because you draw your characters in your nice pose already. So let me just pin this. So now starting to raise your arms. I was going to do it across, but let's just do it down. Head doesn't really matter. So you have your torso, you have your collarbone here. As you raise your arms, that collarbone is going to start going up. So it's going to go up like that. Center of the collarbone is going to go up. And remember, where it is going to come off, that's where your delts are going to be at. So the thing about your chest, as you raise your chest, it's going to pull up as well, like that. So chest comes down, it's going to pull up. Now it's connected to the bottom, as I said, and to the top, where that collarbone is. So it's going to be like that. Just try to think of it as one piece. Because remember, that arm is going to be tucked under that. This bulge right here, this bump, your arm is going to come from under that. Now, I didn't want to raise it that high, so let's bring it down a little bit. The next one will be, let's do half and half. I didn't want to go straight out, but this is close to the same. So let's just say your arm is here. Do one up, one down. It's there. This arm here. Now this, as I say, it wraps around. This thing, it wraps around your arm. And I'm trying to imagine it. If I do a side arm, this is your side arm, this is your bicep, this is your tricep, your elbow, and your forearm here. That, it wraps all the way around your arm. The center point here separates the bicep from the tricep. Right, so it's going to wrap all the way around your arm. So when you start lifting it, it's still going to wrap around your arm like that. It's like this cup, as I was trying to draw. I don't know if you understood that. There's a little cup that your arm fits in. It goes around, and you're going to have your arm coming out of that. And you'll see some of it here, and then that goes into your lats. Now, your arms are actually two pieces. You have your bicep and then your tricep. So connecting is going to be like this and that. When you have bigger arms, it's going to be kind of like your bicep and your tricep. It's like that, and then your comes down, and then your chest here. And this is where you would have that underarm pit down in between there. So, checking my monitor, make sure I'm not going off. You have that, and then that. And as I said, you'll have this dip right here. Now, bring your arm up a little further. Same thing. You're going to start losing your, the amount of tricep that you see, tricep delt that you see. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit more. But you're still going to see it back here. And it depends on how big your arms are. And what I usually do, once I do this, I throw my arm, because your arm is going to come straight. It's going to follow that line here and go back down there. And remember, it's going to separate here. I mean, you can leave it in a point and then bring the other part of your delt here, and then you start with your lats. You can leave it there, but usually it kind of stops here. All right, sorry about these extra lines you just see, because the phone rang and I picked up the phone, and unthinkingly I started drawing again, but hopefully I didn't get too far. As I was saying before, before I was so rudely interrupted, you can either leave the arm in a point or you can draw it like this, because the arm kind of has two separations, because the bicep is kind of like this, really. And your muscles like that, because it goes down in here and there. The bicep is not the biggest muscle. The tricep is your bigger part of your muscle. Your bicep actually curves up like this, and your tricep comes down like that into your elbow. So that's the biggest part of your arm. So if you want big arms and you go to the gym, do your biceps, and then that muscle comes around here and there. We're not really getting into the arms. So as I say, goes down here, collarbone dips in here, collarbone stops here. They have that little dip, and then your delt. So let's lift the arms all the way up, because it's time to lift the arms all the way up. So again, with your torso, center line, all the way, put the head. Let's put the head here, because your delts are going to be hitting the head depending on how far you put your head up. Here's your neck, comes down into that V. Remember, it comes into that circle here, into that V. So your shoulder blades, your collarbone is going to come up. So if you want to put your hands up, let's just say put your hands up. Put your hands up because you're at the party. Your delts are going to come like this and then down. Your delts are going to go up, curve around. Remember, it's going to curve all the way around that body. And then your arms are going to be here. Now that's really throwing the arms all the way up, because it's going to come around, curve around here, and then your delts. Curve around, and then your delts, like that. So your chest is going to come it's going to come down with this arm. It's going to curve out just a little bit, and then curve in, like that. Almost like a point to a point. And then your shoulders are cramped up in there. So if I ink this, if my pen wants to work, I have two same size pens, and one always dead and the other one writes, and I keep mixing them up. So it's going to be like this, like that, and comes around. So your arm is going to come down into here. Your chest is going to come down like that, the center, and your chest is kind of smooshed in like that. So it'll be smooshed in like that. So your collarbone, yeah, your delt, you have a little bit here, and then your lats, and then of course your abs. And then you have to be careful about how big you make the guy, but usually when you stretch like this, when you throw your arms up, your lats do flare out more. And then you have your arm, and then you have, I believe, again, you can do like that, and then you have your bicep, tricep back here, or you can just leave it in a point, because your lats come off of that as well. Or should I say the ribs come from there as well, and your lats are behind those ribs. So you can have that, and then your other half of your arm, other part of your arm. But this is the main part I wanted to focus on. It's like this, it comes down like that. Because that's the problem a lot of people have, that I have seen. People send me their drawings and they don't really know how the arms and stuff connect. We do the same position over and over again, that when we try to change positions or kind of change it around a little bit, it's hard to do. So that comes up. Actually, the ribs are going to be more down this way. So when this comes up, that bone, the ribs are here. Those ribs are a little too high. So, okay, you have your front. Let's work on let's do the back. So the back is your basic. Again, you have that. And usually when I do the back, I'll kind of do more of this. And then because the back is going to be wider than the front. So let's just say do this. You can do the circle either way. I don't want to get you messed up if you're used to doing something the one way that I continue to show you. Center line. Now you have your shoulders. Your shoulders are going to come up and up into your neck like this. Keep your shoulders even, because you have the other part of your neck, and then you have your cranium here, and then you have the skull, the cranium, the back of your head, I believe that's the cranium, and then you have your jawbone down here. So if I detail this, you have your head, this is the back of your jawbone here. You have your shoulders that come up here and into your neck and stops kind of like that part. And then you have your other part of your neck. Or you have your neck, and this is just in the back of your neck, and this goes down. So you have your shoulders here. And that does this. That shapes into this. It curves around and it goes in and then down. So it's kind of like a Indian arrowhead kind of thing. I don't know why they call it an Indian arrowhead, because it's shaped like this. You have this, 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 and that. And I usually call it, what do you call it, a spade. When you're playing cards, to me it's kind of more of a spade, but I might be wrong. But that's what you have. So these are your shoulders here. This comes down. Now, the reason you curve these two in, is because your delts come around here. And it fits, where this tucks in like that, that's the bottom of your delts. Remember I said you have more in the back than you do in the front. So it comes down like that. Careful not to make it too big, and then your arms come from that point out. As I said, careful not to make it too big unless you just have like the Hulk type person, because you're still going to have the shape of your arms. Brian, draw the arms down like that. And you don't want this to cut. This is like halfway down the back almost. You don't want it all the way down the back. And you don't want this too far out. But because I said they wrap around your shoulders, and you have like two separations, or three muscles put together to make your delts. But don't worry about that. We're just trying to do this part here. And then your back comes down, because you have that other piece that's here. These are your lats, which comes down and then into here. And then you have that love handle, which I did in the other video. Don't bring it out like that, it's like it's fat. Bring it straight down and then curve it in, because your buttocks is here. And we're not getting into the whole thing. We're staying up here. There's other videos that I've done that show you the body, and I'll leave a link to that. So if I did this, you have that, and you have your delts coming around, and then you have your arms. And your lats, and that arm might be a little too high because your your lats and then your arms will come out here like that. I have this out too far. So your delts come out, your lats come out, this comes in, and your arms are right here. It's not going to come all the way to that point. So it's going to be here. Forget that, this piece. You're going to have this. And that's down. And then you have your shoulder blades right here. So again, we're focusing on the delts. Now, as you lift your arm up, spine comes all the way down. I'm an artist, I keep adding to it. As you lift your arms up, put down some of these pins. We have that again. Your back comes up. That arrowhead again, or that spade. I have to look at the cards before I call it a spade. It just kind of reminds me of that. And you don't want this big. It's like this really. And then your arms come out. Still remembering that your arm is here. This is over top. This is going to be the center of your delt. Where is that at? It's going to still have that curve to that point. It's going to have that curve to that point, because I don't know which one takes precedence, either the arm or the delt, but they're both kind of shaped to each other, conform to each other's shape. So you do that, and here's your arm, and then your delt falls on that shoulder. And at that point, you at that point where that delt ends, you have that curve and it goes up again. So your arm comes out, knowing that you have a little bit of that, and then your lats. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, this is what I forgot. I'm looking at this and it's looking a little strange. So you have that. And you have to remember not to make your arms too big to fit. And then sometimes you'll see just a little bit of the bicep, depending on your angle. And again, your shoulder blade, that center line on that spine. So as long as you keep this point here, this little curve here, you're doing good. So let's bring that arms all the way up. And of course you have your 3 parts to your neck. Where's my thing? You have this part that goes up from your shoulders. You have the actual neck itself, let's call it that. And then that ends here. And then you have your head, and that 3rd part is your chin, falls under that. So going up, back again, center line. This part comes down again, and because you're raising your arms, this part is going to go up. This part was kind of down. You didn't see your delt curving around. It was almost flat, shall we say. You curving your arm up. You'll see the curve in that delt. And then you'll see this part right here is going to lift up. So you have this, let's center that. That's the spine. Let's center that. Move it up so you can see. So this is going to go up a little. But you're still going to have this. And again, you have to make sure that's not too small or too big. Because once, again, just like the chest, when you bring your arms in, it'll compress a little bit. The same thing with your back. Your back is going to compress. So because that, what was I going to say? I just lost it for 1 second. That these are going to rise up, basically. So you're going to have, this is your shoulder. This is that. And then your delts are going to go up. Let's just say, yeah, let's all the way up like this. It's going to still, from back here and up here. I don't know what that shape like. I can't think of what it's shaped like, so I can say just draw this and it's close to that. So and remember, at this point, wherever that point is, you're going to separate your bicep from your tricep. So your arm is going to come basically from the back, like that, from the back of here up to here. And then you're separating your bicep and your tricep. And then you have your lats that come down. So to ink that, it would be more like this. My computer just made a sound, so I had to stop for a second to see what was going on. It's the spies. They're spying on me. And your delt. Like that. And remember to separate the bicep from the tricep. And then your lats. It stretches around, and I just lost what that was. Shoulder blades stretch around your back. And then that center line, remember this is kind of compressing a little bit because you have your arms up. This is the inner part of your neck, shoulders, your outer part of your neck, your cranium ends right there, and then your back of your jawbone, and then your head. Like that. So from the side, hopefully I have my paper up, and my camera wants to pause on me. This is what is this? This is a Galaxy S. Is it an S9? It's not the top of the line, but I think was it an S7? I think it's S7. But I film with my video camera, not video camera, my phone, camera phone, because I don't know what type of good camera to get, camera. But if anybody knows a good camera phone, probably with the best videoing camera, let me know in the comments, and so I can pick that thing up, because this one's not a couple months old. It's brand new, but it's giving me troubles. It's just blurring out and just doing all kind of crazy things. So here's your side position. I'll do this small. Here's your neck. Here's your chin. Here's your chest. Comes up. Here's your arms. Your collarbone comes down like this. Here's your delt. Comes around from the back. Is that point. Here's your arms, your stomach, and as I say, your back is like this. Because remembering this collarbone, remembering this delt, it curves around and it hits that, and this part comes down. That plays a role in that, because it's going to come down and it's going to hit that. When you start turning your back, it's going to do that. So this, because it does go behind your back. That is your chest, or your abs, and your arm. Remembering the bicep is the smallest, tricep is the biggest. So let me just do this, because your shoulder comes up like this. And that's that part that goes behind your head. That's this. Your shoulder's here, and it comes up like that. Then you have your Adam's apple, your neck, like that, and your collarbone, and then into the chest. So it goes around. Like that. Now, if you start to raise that up, again, here's your chest. Collarbone goes into your delt, and I'll make it down first. And your lats, where your chest comes up, your lats are going to come, so like at that point here. The lats are going to come down. This is your abs. And you have your ribs right here, but I don't even want to get into the rib part. It's too much for now. So this is going to go up like this. Let's do the neck. It's the back, neck, and the head. And your neck. Now this is going to go up to that point. Let's just say, let's put our arms right here first. It's easy, a lot of times it's easier to put your arms, it's easier to explain with the arms here. So this is going to come like that. And then your arms are going to come, and you're going to see, because of the way you raise your arms, you're going to see your tricep. So that's going to be like this. Going down, coming in at an angle till you get to your elbow, which is that diamond, and then your forearm. And I'll ink this in just a second. So it's going to be like this. Remembering that this other end, as I said about this, comes down. It's going to come down into your back like that. Your shoulders are going to be here, and then that. Your neck. So your lats are going to come from behind here. Your chest is going to come from here, and then your abs. So your arm's going to come from up under here, and from this point, your triceps can come down, and then there's that point. It comes into a point because this part of your forearm, this one goes back further than this. So this is going to come up, and this is going to here, whereas this one's going to start way back here. So just remember this, and then it goes into the back. And all of this is your lats. All of this is your lat muscles. And it comes down into the back. You might see some of the chin depending on how tall the person is standing. You will see it. So going up, all the way up from the back. No, from the side, I'm sorry. You have that. Now, the higher you pull this, because this part of your chest is connected to this on the other side. So when you go up, this is going to pull up as well. It's going to change the shape of your chest. The higher you lift your arm, the more that chest is going to pull. So when that arm is down like this, your chest is going to be shaped like that. As you pull your arm up, it's going to pull that up more, or pull this up more and more. So did you understand that? Because I kind of got lost on that one. So here we go. We have your chest. Let's put the arm up. It's the back. Just the head. Let's get all this in there first. Your neck, your chest. Now, your shoulder's going to be here. We're going to put it all the way up and put that arm straight up. You don't usually put your arm straight up in comics, but this is to show you what it looks like. Your arm usually is probably about this high in comics most of the time, or a little higher, and then it goes back to maybe get a sword or something, but it'll never be straight up. But just because I'm teaching you how it works. So your arm is going to come to a point down here. Your chest, because of this delt being up, it's going to, I'm going to use a pen for this one. It's going to, you're going to see part of that delt that curves around, and then that's going to go into the chest like that. So this is going to curve around here, and you will see the back of that delt right here. But this arm is going to come into a point here. You see the back of that delt, and then the rest of your back like that. So, and you also see your why is my brain getting tired or something? Your tricep. And what is one part of the tricep is fatter than the other because it comes like this. You have one like that, and you have the other one shaped like that. And I think the one on the inside is the fatter one, and the one on the outside, and the one on the outside is the fatter one, and the one on the inside. But it comes up and it comes to a point like this, and to your elbow, like that. So it ends here. You get that part of the delt right here, which goes into the chest. You get this other part of the delt that comes out here, and then it goes into the back. And then you'll see like another piece of meat there. And then your what's it called? Let's finish the chest. Your lat, thank you. Your lat comes out and is here like that. And this is your abs again. So that's going to go all the way up here. You have your other part of your arm, your forearm here, and then your head. So your head is here. So this is going to be like this. Your lat is going to be here in front of the arm. That goes all the way down to the back. You have this part, and then it goes into your back. So inking that, it would be like this, this, and then the other part of your back, your lats, your abs, like that. And you have ribs here, but I don't want to screw people up because I've seen people mess up some ribs big time in their life. And I think the fat one goes on here, and the small one goes here. But as I say, it comes to the elbow. You have that, and your head is here somewhere. So it's good to draw the head. Should have drawn the head a little higher because you have to have room for your neck. It's good to draw the head on your shoulders if you're going to do this first. If you're going to do that first. I don't know if you can even see that. That's so messed up. Let's see if I had a brush. because that muscle goes to to the thumb. So basically just do a U, do the letter U. Don't worry about trying to get the tricep perfect for now until you can really master it. So what is it? What is it that I was going to do? Let's do this real quick before, because those are the three. Those are the three that you actually need. So if you were doing your arm here instead of up, and when you start drawing, do your oval, do your delt, and then do your arm. Now it's going to come, the higher you take it up, the less delt you're going to see, because it's going to get pushed behind the arm. So if it's not all the way up, you'll still see a little of it that looks like this, like that. And remembering the bottom part does come down into the back. The top is going to come into that back, but it's going to go into there. So you'll have that, like that. And then you have your lat, your chest, and that. Your lat, because your lats and your chest connect, and then your back and your shoulder blade. Shoulder blade basically stretches around here, but your lat is usually so thick you don't see it, so don't worry too much about shoulder blades. Don't worry about your shoulder blade. Get your main pieces together. Yeah, that was kind of a little jacked up a little bit, but hopefully you get the idea, because if you lifted that arm all the way up, again, it would take that shape. You'll lose it. This gets pushed to the back. So here's your arm, here's your chest, your abs. So that would be pushed so far to the back that you won't really see it. You won't see it anymore, and you'll see the shape of that arm take place, and then go into the back. And then you have that other piece that comes out like here. You won't see it because it's not lifted enough to see that little piece here, because this is your delt here. Your chest comes up and your delt comes all the way around into here. So it's going to be tucked in like this piece here. I was saying it's just like that little shoulder pad, shoulder guard. And then your arm is sticking in there. So again, comes back. You have your top and your bottom. Your bottom is connected to that little arrowhead. Your top goes down. Your top actually is coming to your shoulder. So your top is going to be here. You really won't see that line, and it just ends and it goes into the neck. A lot of this stuff is going to really just be scrunched up. Let's see a big one. It's going to be scrunched up. One more, if I can explain what I just said. Arm, shoulder, blade comes here. Your shoulder is going to be here. Your chin. So you're going to get a lot of scrunching up of the skin from just doing that here, because it comes up here, and then there's your neck, and then your tricep there, chest there. So before this video gets too long and I get too crazy and start really screwing up, I'm going to end it. I said just use the U. It's best to use the U part of your chest, that, and then your lats. And that comes down into your back. This is going to go up into your shoulder, which is going to go up into your neck. This is your neck, and your head is going to be here somewhere. So yeah, that is going to do it. Hopefully it's a good explanation, because it's pretty much the simplest one I can give you. This is a part that people don't show when drawing. They show just the base action positions, shall we say. And yeah, the motion of this, they don't really show. So it's like the underarm, which is here. They don't show that as well. But I'm trying to show you guys little things that you don't often see, but you need, because when you start to move your character, you ask yourself, well, what does this look like? What does that look like? So yeah, and a lot of times they'll cover it with clothes and straps and ribbons and whatever. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. And look out for the next one, because I just forgot what it was. But it'll be out. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and see you guys later.